And now let's learn how to install and use GNU COBOL on the Windows desktop. We're going to do two downloads. The first is the GNU COBOL compiler and Visual Studio Code, which you may already have installed. And since I'm starting from a clean Windows machine, I also downloaded and installed Google Chrome and WinRAR. Our first step will be downloading the GNU COBOL compiler. For that purpose, we're going to go to Arnold Trembley's GNU COBOL downloads page, and we're going to download the 64-bit version of GNU COBOL for Windows. After downloading the GNU COBOL compiler, we're going to create a folder on C called GNU COBOL. We're then going to extract the GNU COBOL compiler that we just downloaded into the new folder GNU COBOL. So let's go ahead and do that. And now I'm on my clean Windows machine, and I'm going to search for Arnold Trembley GNU COBOL. From the home page, I'll get down to the downloads page, and on the downloads page, I'll scroll down until I reach over here, the GNU COBOL 3.2 version, which is the stable version from July of 2023, and that's right over here. I'm going to click on the 64-bit version. And I'll go to the folder. And as I mentioned, we're also going to create on C a new folder called GNU COBOL. And back to downloads, we're going to extract into C GNU COBOL. If we go to the folder here on C, we can see that we've extracted the GNU COBOL download into the folder. And now we can go on to the next step, installing Visual Studio Code. And now for step 2, we're going to download and install Visual Studio Code. After the download, we're going to open Visual Studio Code, and from within Visual Studio Code, we're going to open the folder GNU COBOL. We're then going to add our first source file, the program that displays Hello COBOL World. The name of the source file will be cls01ex01.cob. CLS stands for class and EX stands for exercise. That's because we've got a number of classes and a number of exercises to do later on. We're then going to add Visual Studio COBOL extensions. We'll set the terminal default from PowerShell command line to the old Windows command line. And we'll set the source outline on the screen. So let's go ahead and set that up. So we're going to type in Visual Studio Code, and we're going to download the stable build for Windows. So I clicked on that and it's downloading. And if I go to the downloads, here it is. All I need to do is double click and go through the process. And as we said earlier, once it's installed, we're going to want to launch it and go into Visual Studio Code. The first thing we said we would do is we would go to File, Open Folder, and we're going to point the Visual Studio Code editor to our GNU COBOL folder on C. And the next thing we're going to do is go to the extensions down here, and we want to install 2 extensions. So we're going to type in COBOL, and out of the list of extensions, we're going to choose COBOL language support from Broadcom. So we click on that and click on install. And the second one will be the GNU COBOL syntax extension by BitLang. So we'll click on that and install. And now back to the Explorer up here, we're going to add our first source file into the GNU COBOL folder. When you move on to more exercises, I will show you how to organize the source files in a better way. So we're going to click on New File over here, and we're going to type in the name of our source file, which is class 01 exercise 01.cob. And that's all I have to do. And I just click, and here it is. And we're inside the source file. And as you remember, we need the terminal so that we can compile and run our programs. So we're going to click on these three dots over here. We're going to click on Terminal, New Terminal to open the terminal here on the bottom. And as I mentioned, the default of the command line down here is PowerShell. That's what the PS stands for. Since I prefer the old Windows command line, I want to change this default. So I go to View, click on Command Palette, and I type in Select Default Profile. And when I do so, I can choose which command prompt I want in the terminal window, and I'm going to choose the old Windows or DOS command line. If I close this and go back in again, open a new terminal, and I'll see that it was changed. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the outline from over here and place it in the corner over here. As we develop the program, we're going to see a visual representation of the program. The divisions and the variables are going to start appearing over here, and we can click on any one of those elements and hop into the program. At that point, as our programs get larger, it's going to help us a lot. Here's where you begin to code. If you'd like, you can get started by following our step-by-step Hello COBOL World video on the COBOL Ninja website or YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. To learn more about COBOL and the COBOL Ninja course, check out our videos on the YouTube COBOL Ninja channel and at the COBOL Ninja website. Thanks again, good luck, and all the best.